asking Jerod Mayo after the game if he was coaching to win. Mike Reiss of ESPN is now with us. You were in the room when that question was asked. Did you have the reaction that Zoe did? Zoe didn't like the question, apparently.
We'll just say hello, Beetle. Zoe, Tim, great to be with you guys. That was a direct question from my guy Ben over there.
Well, when you're a bad team, that happens. You're going to get asked real questions from time to time.
Ask direct questions. I think a little bit loaded, Beetle, would be my thought. Like at ESPN, and not like we have all the answers, but they teach you to try to ask like pointed but neutral questions. Like that one was loaded almost as if to say the assumption was that he wasn't coaching to win, right? And well,
I mean, there's plenty of evidence to support that opinion if that is the opinion of the person asking the question.
Well, I actually would disagree. Let me present to you this, Beetle. So then the converse of that, if that's the right way to say it, is, and we'll get into this, on the second, so let's say I'm in there, so should I ask on the second play of the third quarter, when the ball's on the 31-yard line and the game is 14-10, and you send the house on a blitz, are you coaching to lose? Should I ask that question to Jerod Mayo based on what happened?
No. Why would you ask that on that?
Because that is an unbelievable decision that they made.
But that's a gamble. Like, that's a coaching gamble.
So is going for two.
Okay.
Or so is going for on fourth down.
That question was about not going for it. That question was about.
So my question's the same way.
You're punting from the 37. You are deciding not to go for it from the 2. Those are the things he's asking about. And he referenced one of those plays.
I don't see the difference. Do you see the difference?
I just coaches coach to win. You know, you're not coaching to keep the game close. The only time I've ever seen that happen was Kansas City here with Bill.
But this is the difference. You're talking about something that's super aggressive versus something that's super conservative.
Well, if you're super aggressive, aren't you coaching to win? Or if I think it's a dumb decision, I guess my question would be, are you coaching to lose? Because I think that's a ridiculous decision. So that would be what I would ask.
But you could easily ask about what you thought was a ridiculous decision and say, why would you do that on that particular play? That seemed to really bite you.
So then the question after the game
right, I think we're getting into a immediate thing, but my general question is it okay to say that they did not absolutely go all the way to try and win this game on Sunday?
No,
I think it is. I think it's totally fair. I think it's the problem.
This is going to be a fun hour.
We're
going to have a fun hour.
Mike,
Let's go.
Mike, this is not a good football team. What do they have to lose by trying to go out? Well, that happened for them. They ensured it. Jerod Mayo made sure of it by being totally sackless on Sunday.
I totally disagree. I think Jerod Mayo
no, he was really going for it.
He went to the casino with all his money, and he said, I'm putting it right down on the table, and I'm sending all my defenders because it doesn't matter. What do we have to lose? Well, we have to lose a game because we just did an all-out blitz from the 31-yard line in a 14-10 game. What was that, Beetle?
What was
that? That was really conservative, Beetle.
At least he
conservative.
At least he recognized that he couldn't
this was going to happen.
That he couldn't get any pressure on Matthew Stafford all day. So at least he was trying something to finally get to the quarterback.
And what did that get him, Beetle? Because what did he have to lose?
At least he
just
tried.
A game.
And he was going to lose it anyway, so that's why I'm not that upset about it. Like, he noticed and recognized we can't get to Stafford, and we're going to dial something up and try to get there. And it's a gamble, but we're going to try something. At least he was trying something on that play.
And I disagree. To me, that was dumb. And that's what I would say. And if you want your team to be a smart team,
Oh, they're not. They're not a smart team. What about this team tells you that they're smart?
Blitz zero against a 16-year quarterback. That's pretty good.
What about this team tells you they're a smart team?
On that part of the field in that situation.
Do you think they're a smart team?
Did they look smart at the end of the second quarter last week in Chicago?
Over the course of a season.
Smart to me.
Over the course of a season. And we can point to 5 more cases where they fouled it up before halftime. Right? They look great in that 7-minute stretch. We spent an hour talking about how great it was last week. So we covered it. But over the course of a season, do they strike you as a smart football team?
No.
Okay. So we agree on that.
But they're a young team that's growing. I mean, I wouldn't expect them to be a finished product. Did you expect them to be a finished product this year based on what they had?
No, but I don't think they're growing outside of their quarterback. It's one of my other points today. I think their quarterback is growing. Their quarterback continues to get better, but I don't see where all the development is on this team.
And just to circle back, I want to make sure that everyone knows I am not being critical of Ben Volen. I think he does a good job. I think pointed questions are good questions. So I don't want this to become like a media thing.
I love his question.
So. and yeah, so
I think he wastes his time with that question.
To me, you can ask the
The
question
guy
on
comes in the building 6 a.m. every day, 5:30 every day. You think he's, you know what? We're playing to lose here.
Well, obviously, I mean, by doing the job, but that doesn't mean that the decisions reflect that or the decisions are going for it all the time.
Yes,
It's coaching scared. Coaching scared happens in the league.
We're going to keep going around and around because how is it coaching scared on the second play of the third quarter when they did what they did, Beetle? To me, that was coaching reckless. It was coaching to go for it.
I think
How can it be? How can it not? Like, what
this is really more about the offense.
Yeah, on the two sides of the ball, you had two different things.
It's really about the offense, Mike, coaching scared.
Well, then it's a whole different conversation because to me, the question was, are you coaching to win? So that's different.
So do you think Jerod Mayo dialed that up or did DeMarcus Covington dial that up?
I would think it was the defensive coordinator. But as Bill Belichick always said, the head coach is on the headset and he can always tell him to overrule it.
Right.
Decisions to go for it from the 37, is that Alex Van Pelt or is that Jerod Mayo saying punt it here? To me, that's the head coach saying we're punting.
To me, that's the pregame Joey Sly goes out in the warm-up and he is a little shaky on his warm-up. He says after the game the wind is in his face. It's going left to right. It's going right to left. Guys, I think I got it from... He told me he was a little bit outside of his range.
It's 45 and under. He had it.
So to me, that's who made the decision was Joey Sly.
From the two.
I thought you were talking about...
No, I'm talking about...
From the two,
that's on Jerod Mayo, right?
No, from the two, I think that's Jerod.
Right, that's Jerod. That's all I'm saying.
And I think
Jerod Mayo is the one making those calls, and DeMarcus Covington is the one making the call to dial it up on defense.
And I'm curious what you guys think on that, because to me, that's one you can defend either way. I don't think that's an either
personnel
or.
Returning in this game hurt. You had Duggar, you had Barmore, you had Ngakwe, and he's thinking, get these three in. We're going to slide Duggar up on a blitz, and we're going to go with those because Barmore's going to take two blockers, and we're going to get a lane to run Duggar through.
Like Zoe's mad about first and second down runs late in this game. I'm not putting that on Jerod Mayo. I'm putting that on the offensive coordinator.
I think that's fair.
That's how I kind of view it.
But did you guys see last night's game?
Yeah.
There was actually a similar situation. Let me pull it up.
That was a hard game.
That was the. So wait a minute. So
not a great game.
We're talking about the 2 point. I want to make sure I got this right because I love conversations like this. So third quarter, and I'll pull it up. So we're talking about the 2 point conversion, right, Beetle? Third quarter.
In last night's game?
No.
Wait, what?
Patriots.
You're talking about the
Patriots game.
Yep.
Yes.
And no, we're talking about whether they should go for it on third and two. Or fourth and two from the 2 yard line.
2019.
No.
It's 21-10.
They're down
21-10.
They're down 11 at that point.
It's at the 2 yard line. Should they go for it?
Yes.
Okay. You're saying yes. He kicks the field goal to make it a one possession game. Last night, almost the same situation, which I thought was really good. We're going to pull it up. Cowboys, Texans again. Yep. Cowboys. What do they have to lose, Peter? Right.
The
season's over.
Right.
All right. Let's pull it up. We got. Third quarter, 2:18 remaining. They're trailing 20-10. So two possession game. If they kick the field goal, 21-13. So it makes it a one possession game. But they go for it. So they do what you're saying on 4th and 2 from the 8. They don't get it. Penalty. Texans take over. Ball game. Over. Run away with it. So I'm not saying that wouldn't they kick the field goal, one possession game. Maybe you kick off, you stop them, you're in the game at that point. So I'm just giving you different scenarios as to.
But then you got Mike McCarthy's probably coaching.
I'm not interested in them being in the game longer. I'm interested in them trying to get the amount of points to win.
Well,
and I think
isn't being in the game longer giving them the best chance to win?
No. Sometimes
that's
it isn't.
where we see it differently. And that's great.
Sometimes you need to be more aggressive and actually put yourself in the game and try and make up for some of the mistakes you've made in the game. The mistakes you've made in coverage, the mistake you made in your game plan for taking away. They got two guys. They didn't take away either one of them. How do you do that? How do you go back to the locker room as defensive-minded head coach on Sunday and feel at all good about what you came up with to try and slow down the Rams?
You probably don't. You probably don't feel good, other than the fact that in the fourth quarter, when you had to turn the ball back over to your offense twice to give them a chance, you did do that. So you got in the fourth quarter. But overall, you don't feel great.
Like you've got to remember, the fumble was a killer by Drake May in this game. The touchdown to Cooper Kupp when Jonathan Jones fell down are killer plays, and at that point, you've got to say, we got to roll the dice at some point here. Right? I'm not interested in them losing by 6. I'm interested in them trying to win a game. And so if that means you sacrifice points and you're out of it by the fourth quarter, I think you got to be okay with that. What do you have to lose? The game, which is what they lost. They lost the game. And they really weren't all that in it late. Maybe if they had a better receiver, maybe they would have had a shot at the end. Maybe.
This is fun. We're going to keep this going the whole hour?
Sure.
I like it. I like the fire.
Yeah. I want them to be more aggressive. I don't want them to try and keep it close or be in the game longer. I want them to try and win a game. And they could have. They could have won that game. They had enough to win the game on Sunday. Can't say they didn't.
They did. They had enough. I think they feel that way too. Jerod's even said it. Like, we got enough talent here to... and I said, these games are going to be like this where you're going to end up losing by possession. But you're going to be good enough to keep it in the game. That's not good enough.
Are you excited that you lost by a possession on Sunday?
No, God.
Who gets excited about that? I'd rather lose by 2 possessions and know I left it all out there. I'd like to lose by 2 scores, a 2-possession game, or 3 if I know that I was going for it.
If Beadle was the defensive coordinator or the offensive coordinator, we'd see all go routes and 7-man blitzes, and it'd be like 75-72.
No, I just wouldn't be punting from the 37-yard line. That's all. I just wouldn't be punting.
You would have went for it then?
I know. I would have kicked the field goal. I would have tried. I would have said, Joey, get out there. The wind isn't that bad. Let's see you kick that thing, pal. It's out of your range. I don't care. Let's see it. Go ahead.
But think about this, Beadle. And that's fine. Like, people can have a difference of opinion on the decision, but at least understand what they're thinking. It's 7-0 at that point, and you're thinking to yourself, I got a punter who's pretty good. I don't know if you would agree with that or not, guys. Do you think Bryce Baringer is a pretty good punter?
Yeah, he's the best player on the team last year.
Under pressure, he's a little shaky, I think.
That's
but
fair.
I think for the most part,
that's
90%
fair.
of the time, he's really good.
So I'm going to make a decision here where my field goal kicker doesn't feel comfortable, even though Beadle's going to send him out anyway. Not a player's coach here, Beadle. He's going to send him out. That's fine. I respect it, Beadle.
Kickers. Hey, kicker, we're at the 37. Get out there and kick. I don't care.
I respect it, and I'll just pretend I
treat him like a kicker.
I'll just
what I'm going to do.
I'll just pretend that there won't be any protection issues that we know won't come up later in the game on a point after attempt. But we'll send him out there. That's fine.
Wow, you are a scared coach.
I get it.
Kick. We can't kick.
My point being, you got Bryce Baringer, your punter. We all agree he's a good player. You're relying on him to pin him deeper.
It was a killer that he kicked it.
And kicked it into the end zone. Yeah. So I mean, it's not just the decision; it's what comes after it. And I would say on the 5 decisions that Jerod made, in my opinion, that were game management decisions, guys, that there wasn't the execution surrounding it to make it the right decision.
What do you got this week, Mike?
All right, Beadle, let's start it up. Zo, Tim, here we go. The Patriots did not lose this game because Jerod Mayo was coaching not to win. They lost because he was too aggressive. Beadle, sit down. I know this is going to be hard for you to hear, but I had 5 game management decisions for Jerod Mayo made that we can debate whether they were right or wrong. I think the one to me that is not debatable, that is the coaching decision that deserves the most scrutiny, is
2nd and 9.
2nd and 9.
Yep.
An all-out blitz from the Rams 31 when the game was 14-10 coming out of the half. You have momentum. You just had your cornerback Marcus Jones make a great run force, and you do that. That is the equivalent, Beadle, of going to the casino, taking all your money, plunking it down on the table and saying, I don't even need to see the cards right here on this blackjack game. I'm betting it all. Because what do I have to lose? And so, to me, the whole discussion needs to be flipped. I don't understand this whole idea, it didn't go for it on 4th down. He's playing, like, conservative. Like, to me, that's not aggressive. That's over-aggressive. So that's my first one. Do you want to respond? Or you?
No, I'm just going to say we're finding common ground and that we both believe Jerod Mayo coached poorly on Sunday.
Okay. Number 2. To me, where the game turned, and this is to me one of the more disappointing parts, guys, of the game is can't align correctly on the offensive line. You're up 7-0. You just convert a 3rd down, and I think just the alignment of the left guard, Michael Jordan.
Was he in the backfield?
Well, I know you didn't think he was, though.
Did you see the highlight?
I did. I watched it. I watched it after on the sideline view, and he sets pretty far back, which then makes Lowe set far back, and he had been warned twice
I didn't know that
point. And I think, to me, that's reflective of a lack of attention to detail that, if you want to, it's very disappointing. That's my second point.
Why were we alerted to that in preseason, where the ref would say that, hey, we warned him twice, and now we're not getting that from the sidelines?
The only reason I knew they warned him was because Vidarian was asked after the game, and he said they warned him, and then you actually...
Oh, Jesus, then he's an idiot.
You actually see this, later in the game.
The dumb players.
Where he's lined up, and just like you see a receiver do it sometimes at the end of the line of scrimmage, he looks over to the... And he's actually has his hand up, and he's like, am I okay right here? So, to me, that is like the old Bill Belichick thing. Like, I could go to... And I don't mean this disparagingly, but we used to talk about going to Foxborough High to get the center to snap the ball. Like, if we can't just line up, like, we got a problem, right? So just
in there too.
Get back to the details, and that would be actually my third one, and I know we're going to get to it, but for Jalen Polk, like, the concern for me has heightened, and it's not even the false start.
It's Drake.
Watching,
I'm calling you in.
How many times did you see that Sunday?
And now, and watching it over, they had a couple. Like, he's in there. He's a good blocker to crack down, and he couldn't get to the spot fast enough. It just looked like the game was going fast for him, and so my thought being, like, if he can't do these things, what can you keep putting him on the field? So those are my three things.
And this is where it tells me that he can't read a defense then too. Because part of the responsibility of the receiver when you go outside, whether you're slotting that and you're running that crack and you're bringing this guy down inside, you're going to be the first initial outside protector. You got to look at the alignment of things. You got to expect quarterbacks bringing me in. And it is on the quarterback to look, where's the linebacker, where's the edge guy? Now it's up to me, okay, I want you in here. And Drake had to do that at least 3 times. Are you just going out there and staring at Drake, or are you not looking at the defense? Then that goes to me to be the coaching. So then that's on Tyler Hughes and company out there with Tyquan Underwood.
Thornton.
Where's that film study? That's film study.
I know what you're saying. You're going back to Tyquan Underwood.
Both not good receivers, but yes.
Yeah.
Tyquan Underwood's one of the coaches. Yeah, so he's in there with Tyler Hughes as a receiver coach.
Yeah. And I want to talk about Tyquan Thornton, though.
Oh.
Because he's gone.
Guess where he went?
He is in Kansas City now. He is with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Watch them find a way to use him.
Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.